Hey guys, I'm Adrian, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the basics of jump rope in a more intuitive way than in the previous video. So the first trick is basic balance. That's not really a trick, it's more of a fundamental for every other trick ever. Except side swings maybe, but whatever. So the only thing I have to say about this is make sure you're not double bouncing, which is when you jump, you're actually jumping twice and the rope is only going under once. Make sure you have a steady single pace. The next trick is called side straddle. That is where you move your legs apart and together. Now, the thing that trips people up most about this trick is that they don't really get the concept that every jump is a different movement. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're moving your feet apart and together, every time the rope goes under, you're gonna go apart, and then you're gonna go back together, and then apart, and then together. Every time the rope goes under, and it's not gonna be like just apart and together, like whenever the rope goes under once or whatever, something like that, you know. Okay, next trick is forward straddle, and that's basically the same concept as side straddle as to moving your feet apart, except that in forward straddle, you don't bring them back together. You go apart and then go apart with the other leg. And so the other leg's in front, and the leg that you had in front first goes in the back. So it's a bit more difficult, but just think of it as alternating lunges, you know. Okay, this next trick is called side swings, and that's when you swing your rope to the side. So for this trick, a lot of people get confused with this. They'll naturally want to like bring their handles together and kind of like swing to the sides, and they're gonna be like moving their body and everything, and it looks really bad. So don't do that. Make sure, so if you're gonna swing to your left, you keep your left arm solitary and cross your right arm over your body to kind of make like a nicer swing. The next trick is called full turn, and that's where you stop the rope in front of you, do a turn, and then continue jumping. Make sure it doesn't seem like you stop it, just like stop and then go. Make sure it's kind of like you stop it and it's like one fluid motion. There's not too much I have to say about this except for one thing. I've seen that a lot of people naturally feel like they have to go high because they'll maybe hit themselves in the head. I don't know. Don't worry, that's not gonna happen. Alright, the next trick is called side toe touch. This trick is pretty easy if you know the timing of it. So the timing goes, when the rope is, right after you jump the rope, you bring your foot out to the side and you touch the side, hence the name. And then, you just continue jumping. Make sure you stall it a little, and make sure you don't go like right when you're jumping, because that's just gonna bring your leg to the side and catch a rope, and it's like, yeah, don't do that. Alright, this next trick is called jogging step. This trick isn't really too hard for some people, but for other people they explode, apparently. I've seen it happen. It's make sure you don't explode. But another thing, it's not as important as exploding, definitely that's your main priority, but make sure you don't confuse it with high knees, which is like, just bringing your knees high. And make sure you're actually doing like a jogging step, but that doesn't really matter. Just make sure you don't explode. Alright, the last trick is called backwards bounce. That's where you're just jumping backwards. There's not much I have to say about this trick. Just make sure you're turning exactly the same as if you were turning forwards, except turning backwards. But just like, what I mean by that is using your wrists to turn. And that's really all I have to say about that trick. So yeah. Alright, well, that's all the tricks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and have a nice life.